Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural video of Balanced Political Discourse, the channel that I have created to do just what the name says, to host a place for balanced political discourse to take place. Now, my name is Perry Jones, and I have created this channel for several purposes, which I will talk about in a moment. In this video, I am not so much discussing content, but I wanted to go over two main points. First off, I want you to get to know a bit about me, what has shaped my political ideas, what parts of my life have led to biases on my part towards the American political system. The reason I'm doing this is because even though I'm going to do all in my power to keep this balanced, for lack of a better word, and factual based, there are inevitably going to be parts of my bias that are going to bleed through into the narrative, simply because, shocker, I'm a human being. So, by presenting you with my bias up front, what it allows you to do as an informed consumer to do is to view the things that I say and the things that I talk about in light of my biases, and thus attempt to separate my biases from the discussion matter. That will allow you to make informed opinions based on the things that I'm talking about and the issues that I'm going to be discussing. The second thing that I wish to talk about in this video is the purpose for this channel, the why I created this channel, so to speak. Mainly, I wished to use this video as a means to address one of the largest failings of our political system in my mind, and that is that we have so many people in this country that are not well informed, that are not getting a balanced narrative from either the media, our politicians, or the people that talk about these things in general. Everyone has biases, and unfortunately some people filter out biases much better than others. And as we all know, let's not kid ourselves, in this country our media is driven by money. It is a business enterprise, which means that they report things that people are going to want to see. Things that are sensational, things that grab people's attention. Which means that often things are shown in the light that will get the highest ratings, not necessarily the things that will give people the best information. So with that out of the way, I also want to go ahead and discuss some of the issues that are plaguing our political system and that are plaguing America in general in a factual context. What this means is that there are some things I will not be doing on this channel. First and foremost, in everybody's minds, with the current primary and election season oncoming on all of us, is that I will not in any way, shape, or form be supporting or trying to get you to support any particular political candidate, political party, or political idea. This is a discussion-based forum, and that is what I want to keep it. I wish to enlighten people on things that they may not have known before. I wish to provoke meaningful political discourse, not the usual name-calling and hate speech, for lack of a better word, that we always see, but an actual discussion based on facts around the political sphere. So now that I've kicked that dead horse enough, also keep in mind I will not, while I will be talking about certain candidates and some of the issues that they bring up, I will be trying to keep my personal beliefs and opinions on these issues out of this narrative, or at the very least, I will be telling you specifically when something is my opinion that you should not necessarily take as fact. I will be presenting lots of different video clips brought into the video once I'm actually more on the up and up about video editing software. This is kind of the first time I've made a foray into YouTube, so you'll have to excuse some of my initial inadequacies. However, I will be doing this in a, once again, fact-based environment, and I will be giving you lots of facts, figures, statistics, things of that nature in order to give you a balanced perspective. However, whenever I interject my opinion, usually I will preface it by making a statement such as, in my opinion, or my opinion on this subject, so that you as the viewer can know when something is factual and when something is actually just my opinion. So if you agree with my opinion, cool. If you don't, feel free to comment on it. We can discuss that. Or, just you're not always going to agree with me. It's just going to happen. So, a bit about me. As I said before, my name is Perry Jones. I'm 28 years old. I'm a white male, as you can see, so you can take that bias, privilege, whatever you have it as it is. I grew up in Pennsylvania, for the most part, outside of suburban Philadelphia. Went through all public school here. I went to the military service, where I served 9 years active duty Army, and obviously that has shaped some of my political beliefs and things, particularly as it pertains to the military, our treatment of veterans and things of that nature. Also, throughout that experience, I've come into contact with lots of people from all over the country that have varying political and cultural beliefs, a lot of which have helped to shape my own. Also, as far as religion is concerned and its effects upon my political beliefs, I'm not currently religious. I'm not necessarily atheist. I just don't pertain to any particular religion. I simply believe that my values are good enough for my life, and thus I'm not going to bash on anyone else's religious beliefs or anything of that nature. Everyone does what suits them as far as religion is concerned, obviously, as long as nothing's done illegally, and we'll just all be cool with that. However, I spent the majority of my formative years growing up as a Mormon. For those of you that don't know what it is, go ahead and open Google and search the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That should give you all the information you need, good or ill. And so, having grown up in a Mormon household, I grew up in a primarily conservative environment. My family, for the most part, is Republican, with some of my siblings in their adult years becoming a bit more liberal. Once again, that's perfectly fine. Me and my brother have many political debates, discussions, bashing sessions, whatever you want to call them, on a fairly regular basis. Most of the people that know me via Facebook will probably attest to this, as they see it all the time. So that is me. As far as my leanings now, I consider myself a moderate conservative. Ironically enough, like most people in this country, I really don't go too far right or left wing. Believe it or not, regardless of whatever any other so-called experts will tell you, anyone that is in a political science field that has studied this phenomenon will tell you that Americans, for the most part, fall very much in the middle of the political spectrum. It's one of the issues that our country has as far as varying political parties, simply because Americans, realistically speaking, aren't all that different as far as political views go. If you were to compare us to other countries, in other parts of the world that have things like communist parties, extremist parties, even fascist dictatorial parties, socialist parties, things of that nature, those things really don't exist in our country simply because most Americans' political views fit into either the Democratic Party platform or the Republican Party platform. I could go into great depths about what that says about our culture and things of that nature, but it's not really too important right now. So, that's a bit about me and a bit about my bias. Now for a bit more on the purpose of this channel. The initial video that is going to be following this one will be talking about some of the issues regarding the political structure in this country that people may or may not be familiar with, just as a way of familiarizing people with some of the machinery in place that keeps our political system going and that keeps it the way it's been for a while. Excuse me. However, as this is a discussion-based forum, I will be trying to research and take topics that are important to you, the viewers. So feel free on, just subscribe to this channel, please. Get the word out there. The more people we have involved in this discussion, the more meaningful it will be. But Also, feel free to comment on my videos and let me know if there are big political issues that are near and dear to you so that I can thus research them and address them. A couple of things that I have to preface on that. Please try not to make the things that you ask me to look into too terribly opinion-based, simply because this is a factual-based discussion. I really can't research too much into opinions other than X amount of this country believes this and X amount of this country does not, which, while informative to a certain amount, that doesn't really get us a whole lot of anywhere other than the amount of people that believe this or don't. It's not terribly meaningful. So please try to ask me to talk about topics that I can actually research and give you factual-based information on. Some of the things that pop up out of my head is the role of religion in America. Some other hot topic issues could be illegal immigration, abortion, any particular aspect of our political system that you may or may not understand, feel free. I try to assume a certain baseline understanding of our political system when I talk about these things, but if there are things that you wish me to talk about, please say so and I'll tell you. I am a political science student myself. I've studied a lot of these things, so I have a fairly good knowledge on how our political system is supposed to work, how it actually works, and the particular dynamics in our political system. But once again, if there are specific things you want to know about, let me know. I'll research them, I'll get back to you, and I will probably bore you to death talking about them because most people don't actually find this stuff terribly interesting, which unfortunately is one of the problems we have in this country, is that there isn't a whole lot of people that actually understand these things, know these things, or particularly care about them. The other thing I want to address in this channel is kind of a more big picture thing. I want to explore people's viewpoints on political issues. I want to explore society's views at large on how our system works, how it doesn't work to people's satisfaction sometimes, things that could or couldn't be done about it. A little brainstorming here or there is never a bad thing. But I kind of want to explore the field of politics, particularly American politics, obviously, since it's what we mostly care about here in this country, in light of what it says about us as a society. Because ultimately, whether you believe it or not, this government is still a democracy. Every government derives its ultimate power to rule based on the will of the governed, which is us. And if this country is, as Lincoln said, a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, then what the people think of the state of the country, the state of its political workings, says a lot about us as a society. And that's definitely one of the things I want to explore and kind of open people's minds to what our political beliefs and opinions say about ourselves. So with all of that in mind, I think I've touched on just about everything that I wanted to for this first introductory video, and there will soon be another video coming right after this one where I will actually tackle some introductory issues. So until then, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, let me know what you're thinking, let me know what you thought of this so that I can hopefully, within reason, make adjustments, make things more palatable to you as a viewer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and catch you guys later.